Battle Through the Heavens, Chapter 226, A Successful Refinement of the Green Lotus Core Flame. The searing liquid slips past his throat, turning internal frost into a scalding mist that whistles against his ribs. He clenches his jaw, steering the volatile heat through narrow, aching pathways as his protective ice thins to a translucent film. Each jagged breath pulls the scattered sparks together, forcing the raw heat to knit into a single blinding knot.
His mind controlled a clump of green flames to move slowly as the ice layer formed by the ice spirit cold spring continuously melted away. Carefully controlling this small clump of flames to pass through several meridians, another small clump of green flames was slowly attracted by its companion and moved forward to support each other. Xiaoyan at this time controlled the green lotus core flame within the meridians of his body, along with another clump of green flames in his body, to slowly merge with one another. Finally, the clumps of green flames were painstakingly gathered into one place by Xiaoyan. At this moment, they truly merged together, and a moment later, they condensed into a tiny bit of green liquid. Seeing the green liquid appear, Xiaoyan forcefully pushed it into the meridians, gritting his teeth to endure the sensation of pain, leading it to circulate within the meridians. After the green lotus core flame merged, it undoubtedly became even more violent. Initially, the ice layer could still barely withstand the green flames, but now it suddenly became somewhat unable to hold on. As the green liquid passed through, the ice layer naturally became insufficient to resist. Furthermore, the cold air emitted was also burned into nothingness by the green flames. Because of this, the ice layer's source of energy replenishment was cut off, making it difficult to stop the erosion of the heavenly flame. The effect of the ice spirit cold spring was gradually retreating every time the green lotus core flame erupted. The defensive ice layer in each meridian was gradually melted by the green liquid. Suddenly, the meridians felt as if they were being strongly stimulated, tightening and then expanding. An intense pain surged within his soul, causing Xiaoyan to uncontrollably spit out a mouthful of blood. Clenching his teeth, the intense pain nearly caused Xiaoyan to faint. Falling into a daze for a moment before he could slowly stabilize his mind, he did not even have time to wipe away the blood stain, concentrating his mind to control the green liquid to continue circulating in the meridians. The more it circulated, the more Xiaoyan became proficient in controlling the green lotus core flame. However, as time passed, the green flames also released an increasingly terrifying temperature. At first, the ice spirit cold spring in Xiaoyan's body could still withstand it, but later it grew weaker and eventually disappeared completely. Gratingly clenching his teeth, Xiaoyan struggled to lead the green liquid, which was emitting a terrifying temperature through the meridians and through the tendons and bones. This directly caused blisters to appear on the skin of Xiaoyan's body. These blisters burst, revealing the red flesh and blood beneath. Each crack spread from the flesh, extending from his arms to his body like a newborn child, looking quite terrifying. Looking at Xiaoyan's body covered in cracks, Yao Lao could not help but feel admiration for his endurance. The appearance of this phenomenon meant that the inside of Xiaoyan's body was filled with hot air. It was this hot air that caused Xiaoyan's skin to blister and then burst open, attempting to escape from there. Normally, when the situation appeared, it could not be called smooth, because if the energy erupted, Xiaoyan's skin would certainly be blown away. Yao Lao's aged face changed rapidly, his fingers curling and extending repeatedly as he tried to suppress the impulse in his heart, quietly standing to one side and waiting, not daring to make any sound that would disturb Xiaoyan. Ignoring the external changes, Xiaoyan's mind was focused on the green liquid that was about to complete one cycle in the meridians. Just at the moment that the green liquid perfectly completed one cycle in the meridians, It was also the moment Xiaoyan felt the connection between his mind and the green lotus core flame grow stronger. When the green liquid completed its final movement, the dou qi in Xiaoyan's body suddenly surged into a wave, and his entire body shook. The dou qi only shook slightly, but the entire hot air in Xiaoyan's body erupted, then headed toward his arm, causing a piece of skin and flesh to explode. A sudden wave of intense pain arrived, causing Xiaoyan's soul to tremble a few times. Sweat poured from his forehead like rain, soaking his clothes. Inhaling a sharp breath of cold air in his heart, Xiaoyan reached into his storage ring and took out a bottle of healing medicine, pouring it onto the wound, after which his spirit continued to focus intently on the green flames in his body. In Xiaoyan's body, when the green lotus core flame completed one cycle of movement, the purple flame dou qi suddenly rose. Under the command of his spirit, the purple dou qi flowed out from the dantian, surrounding the green liquid. Although every time the purple flame dou qi contacted the heavenly flame, it was burned into nothingness in an instant. Because there was a large army constantly providing support, the green lotus core flame, which had just finished one cycle, was finally led by it to proceed with the movement along the route of the flame mantra. When the green lotus core flame was led along the route of the flame mantra, it seemed to sense a sense of danger. The sudden mildness from finishing one cycle of the heavens immediately turned violent as many green flames erupted from the green liquid, fiercely burning the meridians that were being covered by the ice layer. Everywhere the flames passed, the meridians were continuously altered, looking no different from being heavily injured. Xiaoyan had already experienced a bit of the horror of devouring the green lotus core flame. The devouring was not yet complete, but his body had already been ravaged to a dilapidated state. Based on the injuries in his body, even with the support of various healing medicinal pills, it would take several months to hope for recovery to his previous state. After all, he was too heavily injured this time. If it were an ordinary person, they would likely be a crippled person by now. The purple flame dou qi was continuously burned into nothingness, but at the dou qi vortex, it still desperately pushed the dou qi forward, sending as much as was burned. Although the dou qi reserves in the vortex could be seen continuously decreasing, the green lotus core flame was nonetheless brought into the movement route of the flame mantra. The ice spirit cold spring in the meridians, due to being continuously consumed over a long period, had caused the ice layer it created in the meridians to become thin, almost completely losing its effect. As the ice layer dissipated, the already serious situation in Xiaoyan's body became even more serious. The hot air continuously burned the meridians, causing them to twist slightly. As the meridians were slowly attacked until they twisted, it created some blockages in the space where the dou qi circulated. By this point, all the preparations had been used up. Xiaoyan could only grit his teeth and strive to control the green lotus core flame to move according to the route of the flame mantra, because only by completing it in this way could there be a result. Otherwise, if he were backbitten by the heavenly flame, he feared he would turn into dust. Sizzle. A streak of blood suddenly sprayed out and flowed down Xiaoyan's face, causing half of his face to be dyed red, looking like the face of a monster, half white and half red. Since his eyes were closed, Xiaoyan naturally did not know his current terrifying appearance. He could only feel a sharp pain hitting his face. After that, his entire spirit focused on moving the dou qi to lead the green liquid, which was resisting increasingly violently, into the final route. Along with the heavenly flame consuming for a long time, the purple flame dou qi in the vortex was also nearly exhausted, with only 17 drops of purple liquid containing energy remaining in the vortex. In the final moment, after Xiaoyan hesitated slightly, a stream of dou qi emitted from the purple liquid rushed out. Under his command, it surrounded the green liquid and led it desperately. The liquid in the vortex was indeed high-grade energy. One drop of purple liquid could resist the heavenly flame for 20 seconds before being dissolved. Not wanting to waste the effect of these drops of purple energy, Xiaoyan's spirit shook. Ignoring everything else, he led another drop of energy from the vortex and then guided the green liquid to move through the final route. By the time only 3 drops of purple energy remained in Xiaoyan's energy vortex, the green liquid had also finished moving through the final route of the flame mantra. At this time, Xiaoyan was being hit by such strong pain that he was almost numb, when a bit of faint coolness suddenly appeared, causing him to regain some clarity. After the green lotus core flame passed through the root of the flame mantra, the terrifyingly destructive heat suddenly and slowly withdrew. A moment later, it completely entered the green liquid, and a hint of docility faintly radiated out.
Was it a success?
Inside the cave, Yao Lao looked at Xiaoyan's skin and body, which no longer had a single intact spot, and exhaled a long breath. His face was filled with joy, and he gave a slight nod of appreciation. Flicking his finger, a stone turned into a streak of light and shot directly into Xiaoyan's body. As the light entered Xiaoyan's body, immediately, eye-piercing green flames erupted from within Xiaoyan's body, wrapping him like a cage and isolating him from the outside world. Seeing that fire cage, Yao Lao smiled and murmured in a low voice.
Truly a terrifying brat, to be able to endure the pain of a heavenly flame tempering the body. Now he cannot get up.
The fire cage expanded within the cave, looking like an egg shape enveloping the youth's body. The green flames rose, as if wanting to announce that he had broken out of the cocoon to become a butterfly.